Pop Smoke. February 19th, 2020. Hollywood Hills. A $3.5 million mansion. An Instagram story that showed his address. 4 teenagers. 4:30 a.m. 3 shots in the back. The Rolex they stole. Sold for $2,000. Fame didn't protect him. It painted the target. These are the most painful ways rappers died, and why their fame was the weapon that killed them. Case 1. XXXTentacion. June 18th, 2018. Deerfield Beach, Florida. XXXTentacion had just finished shopping for a motorcycle at Riva Motorsports. In his car, a Louis Vuitton bag with $50,000 in cash. He pulled out of the parking lot. A black Dodge Journey blocked his exit. 2 armed men approached. He struggled. He reached for the bag. A .22 caliber round hit him in the neck. A .22 is a small bullet. It doesn't kill instantly. For several seconds, XXXTentacion was still conscious, slumped in his BMW, bleeding from a severed artery, aware that the bag was being pulled from his hands. He was 20 years old. The $50,000 was gone before paramedics arrived. 4 men were arrested. Dedrick Williams was convicted in 2024. Robert Allen took a plea deal. Michael Boatwright and Trayvon Newsom. Trials ongoing. $50,000. That's what made him a target. His $50,000 made him a target. But for the next rapper, the target came from something even more careless. Case 2. Pop Smoke. February 19th, 2020. Hollywood Hills, Los Angeles. Pop Smoke was sleeping in a rented $3.5 million mansion. He was 20 years old. Earlier that week, he had posted an Instagram story. In the background, a gift bag. On the gift bag, his address. At 4:30 a.m., 4 teenagers broke in. The youngest was 15. They shot him 3 times in the back, 3 shots from behind. Pop Smoke never saw his attackers. The rounds entered his torso and he collapsed face down. He was conscious, aware that something had torn through his body, unable to see who had done it or why. Paramedics rushed him to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. Surgeons performed an emergency thoracotomy. They opened his chest and tried to repair the damage by hand. The survival rate for that procedure is 10 to 15%. He did not survive. He was 20 years old. Corey Walker, 19, and Keandre Rogers, 18, were convicted. The Rolex they stole from his wrist, they sold it for $2,000. A $3.5 million mansion, bodyguards, fame, and 1 Instagram post. That's all it took. Pop Smoke's killers found him online, but Juice WRLD's killer was already inside his own body. Case 3. Juice WRLD. December 8th, 2019. Midway Airport, Chicago. Juice WRLD had just landed on a private jet from Los Angeles. On board, 70 pounds of marijuana, 6 bottles of codeine, and 3 firearms. Federal agents were waiting on the runway. When Juice WRLD saw them, he swallowed multiple Percocet pills, an attempt to hide the evidence before they could search him. Within minutes, his body began to shut down. Opioids suppress the respiratory system. The brain stops sending the signal to breathe. He began convulsing on the floor of the terminal. A seizure from opioid toxicity is not unconscious. For the first 30 to 60 seconds, the brain is still processing. Juice WRLD was 21 years old, on the floor of an airport seizing, and aware that something he had swallowed was killing him. Federal agents administered Narcan twice. It was not enough. He died at the hospital less than an hour later. A private jet. 70 pounds of marijuana. He swallowed the evidence to protect the lifestyle. The lifestyle killed him. But at least Juice WRLD made a choice. The next rapper didn't get one. Case 4. Big L, February 15th, 1999. 139th Street, Harlem, New York. Big L was standing on the corner of his block. He was 24 years old. He had just signed a new record deal. He was talking to friends. A man approached and opened fire at point-blank range. 9 bullets. Big L fell on the sidewalk of the street where he grew up. 9 rounds at close range do not kill instantly. For several seconds, Big L was on the ground, conscious, looking up at the same Harlem sky he had been looking at his entire life. He was pronounced dead at Harlem Hospital. He was 24. The target was not Big L. The target was his brother, Lee Davis, a known figure in Harlem's drug trade. Big L was standing in the wrong place, at the wrong time, on the street his brother's world had made dangerous. Fame didn't kill Big L directly, but the world it created did. Every case so far follows the same pattern. Fame creates the danger. Except one. Case 5. Prodigy. June 20th, 2017. Las Vegas, Nevada. Prodigy, one half of Mobb Deep, had lived with sickle cell anemia since birth. The disease attacks red blood cells, deforms them, blocks blood flow. It had hospitalized him dozens of times. He had survived gunshot wounds, prison, and 2 decades of chronic pain. That night, he choked on a hard-boiled egg. When the airway is blocked, the body has 60 to 90 seconds of conscious effort. You are awake. You are trying to breathe. Your diaphragm is contracting, pulling against nothing. Prodigy was 42 years old, alone in a hotel room, fighting for air that would not come. The medical examiner ruled the cause of death as choking, complicated by sickle cell crisis. His blood cells, already deformed, could not deliver oxygen fast enough to compensate. No fame, no target, no gunshots, just a man who had been fighting his own body since the day he was born. But the next case has something none of the others had. A witness, a child. Case 6. Camouflage. May 19, 2003. Savannah, Georgia. Camouflage, a Savannah rapper whose name was rising fast in the southern hip-hop scene, was sitting in his car outside a nightclub. He was 21 years old. His 3-year-old son was in the back seat. A man approached the driver's side and opened fire. Camouflage was struck multiple times. He died at the scene. His son was not physically injured, but he was there, in the back seat, less than 3 feet away, when his father was killed. The shooter was convicted. Camouflage was 21. Every rapper in this video died with some version of the same story. A gun, a motive, a moment. But none of them took 6 days to die. Case 7. Tupac. September 7th, 1996. Las Vegas Boulevard. Tupac Shakur had just left the Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand. He was in the passenger seat. Suge Knight was driving. They were stopped at a red light on East Flamingo Road. A white Cadillac pulled up to the right side. Someone inside opened fire. 13 rounds. 4 hit Tupac, twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh. He did not die at the scene. Tupac was rushed to University Medical Center. Surgeons removed his right lung. He survived the surgery. He survived the night. He survived the next day. For 6 days, Tupac Shakur was in the ICU. He was sedated, then conscious, then sedated again. His organs began to fail, one by one. His mother, Afeni Shakur, was at his bedside. On September 13th, she made the decision to take him off life support. He was 25 years old. For 27 years, no one was charged. Then in 2023, Dwayne Keith Davis, known as Kef D, was arrested and indicted for orchestrating the murder. The case is still pending. The most famous rapper in the world stopped at a red light, and fame is what put him at that intersection. 7 rappers, 7 different cities, 7 different years. One had $50,000 in a bag. One posted his address on Instagram. One swallowed pills on an airport floor. One was standing on the wrong corner. One choked on an egg. One was sitting next to his 3-year-old son. And one took 6 days to die. Every one of them was famous. Every one of them was a target. Fame didn't protect them. It painted the target.